Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody enjoyed dinner. Really good food. This time I'd like to introduce our Hall of Fame Committee Chair, Tom Reading from Fox Chapel. Tom?
I see a lot of talented people out in the audience, and congratulations to all of you, and thank you for coming tonight on such a joyous occasion. I'd like to just mention that the WPGA Hall of Fame Committee and the WPGA staff, I'd really like to thank everyone for all that's involved throughout the year in selecting our candidates. We've got a great group of candidates. I'd also like to mention, if you take a look at page 3 of your program, we've got just a super lineup of people that have been in the Hall of Fame and that are coming into the Hall of Fame. And I would put this lineup of people in front of any other golf association. I think we've got some of the finest people anywhere, so congratulations to all of our people. I'd also like to recognize 3 members that are in attendance tonight: Carol Semple Thompson, Dave Brown, and Arnie Cottrell. Our 3 inductees tonight are Betty Abernathy, who has connections to Fox Chapel Golf Club, very proud of that, J. Frederick Byers, and Mike Nicolette. And with that, I will turn it over to Paul Alexander.
Thank you very much. How was dinner? Pretty darn good. Okay, as we have already heard, Betty Abernathy will be our first inductee. To present her is Sam Abernathy, a member of the family. Sam, please come up.
Wow, thank you. My name's Sam Abernathy. Aunt Betty was my aunt, of course. Elizabeth Stevenson Abernathy to all of you. But she never married, so she had nephews. So she treated us like her children. So she's been gone 20 years. So thank you to the West Bend Golf Association and the Abernathy Cup ladies from Fox Chapel, Oakmont, Longview, and the Field Club. Keep her memory alive. There's an Abernathy Cup tournament that rotates between the 4 clubs. So that I was talking, Aunt Betty won the National 12 and Under tournament in 1923. She shot 100. But there were no golf associations. I have no idea how they would have organized such, invited people, found people that were great young golfers. Whereas now with AAUs and more involvement, but no, she came to see us a lot. She had us here. She was a member here, of course, after 1950. Her father got hooked on golf when she was young, joined Oakmont, and took her there. And she would tell me what a pain it was crossing the railroad tracks. And if you've ever played Oakmont in 1923, there were no bridges. There was also no turnpike. There was just railroad tracks. So she would go across, play those holes, come back across the railroad tracks and finish. So, but she loved amateur women's golf. I asked her once, why don't you turn pro? And she said, Monday and Tuesday I would have to go to Horns or Gimbals and sell clubs. Those are my practice days. So she liked to keep ahead. She took a lesson once a month into her 70s. So she wanted to keep sharp. But I appreciate all of this, keeping her in our hearts. Thank you very much.
What a great reminder of how much we take for granted. The pioneers that went out and did it before it was easy to do. Think about how easy everything is for us now because of people like that made it happen. That's amazing. Next up is J. Frederick Byers. Speaking on behalf of Mr. Byers will be David Moore, a great golf historian, a WPGA Hall of Fame committee member. Please welcome David Moore.
Good evening, everybody. It's a real honor to be here tonight and to talk about the Byers family. They've meant a lot personally in my career, especially one of our Hall of Fame inductees, Eben Byers. And the more research I did into Eben and ultimately the Byers family, and the more we learned the story of J. Frederick Byers, the more it just seemed a natural fit that he should be in the West Penn Golf Hall of Fame. He was a quality player in our region, though not the quality player that his brother was. But he was truly one of the finest administrators and leaders in golf during really the golden age of the 20s and 30s. He was one of the founders of the Pennsylvania Golf Association, along with last year's inductee, John Moorhead, and a couple of Philadelphia-based leaders. He was president of the West Penn, president of the PA Golf Association, and most importantly, he was the first Western Pennsylvanian of only 3 to date to serve as the president of the United States Golf Association. And in 1922, he oversaw the implementation and the inaugural Walker Cup matches at the National Golf Links up in Long Island. So, the more we talked about, honoring the people in golf that are kind of not always on the golf course, but behind the scenes and then make this game great, it became clearer and clearer that J. Frederick Byers needed to be part of this Hall of Fame. And besides being part of the USGA and part of the West Penn and the PA Golf Association, one of the fun nuggets that we've learned now in recent years is not only was he one of the founding members of Augusta National Golf Club, but he financially helped support the club during those early years in the Great Depression and kept it afloat. And without somebody like J. Frederick Byers, we may not have the Masters, we may not have the Walker Cup. And I think it just goes to show what an important role that man made to golf across the globe, not just here in Western Pennsylvania. So it's great to see him enter into the Hall of Fame tonight alongside his brother. And I think it's probably the first time that there's 2 brothers in the Hall of Fame. Is that true? Yeah, so congrats and thank you for having me talk a little bit about J. Frederick. It's a very, very fun story, and I'm glad to hear that he is finally getting his due. Thank you.
Our third inductee will be Mike Nicolette, and to introduce him and tell a little bit of his story is the outstanding WPGA Director of Communications and my good friend, Josh Roundtree.
Thank you, Paul. Can we get a round of applause for Paul as well? Great job. As Paul said, I'm Josh Roundtree. I'm the Director of Communications for the Western Pennsylvania Golf Association. And one of the great joys that I have in my line of work is getting to tell stories. And part of that is getting to learn the history of this great game of ours. And we're obviously seeing part of that great history. And just a small part, yet a very significant one here tonight. I'm honored tonight to introduce our final inductee into the 2025 class of the Western Pennsylvania Golf Hall of Fame, Mike Nicolette. After crafting a career as a player, Mike Nicolette has successfully turned into a career in crafting golf clubs. A native of Mount Pleasant, Pennsylvania, Nicolette won the 1973 Pennsylvania State Junior Championship and then played collegiate golf at Rollins College in Florida, where he took the 1976 NCAA Division II championship. 2 years later, Mike turned professional, and he had a couple of big accomplishments in the year of 1983. First off, he was able to pick up his lone PGA Tour win at the 1983 Bay Hill Classic, which of course was at the home of Arnold Palmer down in Orlando, Florida. He defeated Greg Norman in a playoff to capture that title. In that same year, the man who grew up idolizing Arnold Palmer played the first 2 rounds of the 1983 U.S. Open at Oakmont Country Club, and one of his playing partners was Arnold Palmer. While that proved, the Bay Hill Classic proved to be his lone win on the PGA Tour, Mike went on to earn top 10 finishes on the PGA Tour 10 times, and he was the first round co-leader at the 1988 U.S. Open. He also won the Arizona Open Championship in 1999 and the Arizona Senior Open Championship in 2011. Following his playing career, Mike, as so many of the greats do, gave back to the game, and he entered the world of golf club design for PXG. Mike currently has hundreds, over 500 patents with his name on them when it comes to golf club design. Unfortunately, Mike is not able to be with us tonight, but he did send a letter for me to read from him to all of you. So for the next couple of minutes, please pretend that I am a much better golfer and far more equipped to grow a great mustache, and that I am Mike Nicolette. Mike says this: "Hello everybody, I hope you're having an incredible time at Fox Chapel Golf Club. I'm disappointed that I cannot be there to celebrate this evening with you, but as we all know, sometimes life gets in the way. I would like to take a moment to share with you 3 amazing people that I have had the privilege of working with throughout my career. These men helped shape and mold my career as well as me personally. The first person I want to recognize is Arnold Palmer. Now, I didn't exactly work with Arnold, but I was fortunate enough to win his event in 1983, the Bay Hill Invitational. Arnold presented me with the winner's trophy, a dream come true for a Western Pennsylvanian that idolized Arnold while growing up. What an amazing experience. Later that year, I was paired with Arnold for the first 2 rounds of the U.S. Open held at Oakmont Country Club. I know all of you have played there at one time or another and felt a little bit anxious on that first tee shot. Can you even imagine how nervous I was on the first tee playing with Arnold Palmer, my childhood hero, and arguably the most celebrated golfer of that era? What a thrill. Another memorable week for me as I had my best finish in a major, a tie for 13th. The second person I want to recognize is Karsten Solheim. In 1989, I lost my PGA Tour privileges and decided to take a job with Karsten Manufacturing, the makers of Ping golf equipment. I was initially slated to be a sales rep for the company, but as luck would have it, Karsten took a liking to me and took me under his wing. He taught me all of the physics involved with a collision of a golf club head to a golf ball. He also showed me all of the manufacturing methods needed to bring a golf club to the market. I ended up going back to school to learn the CAD systems necessary to design golf equipment and work for Ping for the next 23 years. By the way, if you can't play golf for a living, designing golf equipment is the next best thing. I love my job. Along the way, I met many new people. One of those is the third individual I want to recognize. His name is Bob Parsons. You might remember his name through one of the companies he started called GoDaddy. Bob is brilliant when it comes to business. He has started, grown, and sold several companies and now has an estimated worth of over $4 billion. Bob exemplifies the American dream as he came from a meager background and worked his way to be one of the most successful individuals in our country. I met Bob through a casual round of golf one afternoon and we became friends. I quickly learned he was a golf equipment aficionado. He tried virtually every manufacturer's equipment with every possible combination of shafts, grips, specs, you name it. He was relentless in his search to find a set of golf clubs that would make a real difference in his game, and he was disappointed. It's estimated that one year he spent over $250,000 on golf equipment. He's obviously very passionate about the game. Bob spoke to me one day and he wanted to start a golf equipment company, one that would create the highest performing golf equipment possible that is not driven by the usual roadblocks or constraints of cost or time. The only goal was to be demonstrably better than everything else out there. Longer, more forgiving, better feel, with a different look so it stands apart, and PXG was born. My point in bringing up these amazing life-changing experiences, playing golf with one of the best golfers of all time, designing golf equipment with one of the best engineers in the golf industry, and starting a golf equipment company with one of the best entrepreneurs our country has ever known, is that they would not have been possible without the initial opportunities I had competing in the Western Pennsylvania Golf Association events as a young boy. These events gave me the experience and confidence that set me on a trajectory and propelled me to where I am today. So to those involved in the planning and running of all of the wonderful events in Western Pennsylvania, I want to sincerely thank you for your tireless efforts. I'm sure there's another young golfer in our area right now that has their sights set on golf at a higher level. You guys are providing the necessary venues and opportunities to take them where they want to go. Keep up the good work, as it will make a real difference in all the participants' lives. I also want to thank those responsible for bringing my name into the mix for this prestigious award. I would never consider myself worthy of such high accolades, but I'm truly grateful to have this honor bestowed upon me. One more thing, a big shout out and congratulations to the other inductees this evening. Thank you so much and have a wonderful evening. Signed, Mike Nicolette.
How good are these guys? They said at 8:20, I should congratulate the inductees and thank all of you for attending. And look where we are. That's how good the WPGA is. The one thing I want to say to all of you is, I remember, I think it was around 2008, the game that all of us loved so much was in deep, deep trouble. I had a good friend that was a PGA pro at a Dick's Sporting Goods. And in that same year, all of the PGA pros at all of the Dick's Sporting Goods were let go because golf was hurting. Try to get a tee time now. That's the beauty of it. But thanks to the WPGA, thanks to all of you. Let's make sure that this great game never goes away and that we continue to love it the way we do. We continue to celebrate it the way we do. Let's go watch some Steeler football. Let's go. Thank you so much for being here. Get out of here.